Wing it. Basically, the last couple of years, I started carving, making my own carving knives. I'm not saying I'm great at it or anything like that. I'm not a steel guy. I work with wood. I'm a professional carpenter. I don't work with steel, so this is kind of out of my element, but I've been happy with the results that I've had. To me, they're some of the sharper knives that I've ever used. They were great. I use them for Tupelo. Sharp enough to use for Tupelo. They're sharp enough to use for just about any other type of wood. Basically, again, I'm not a steel guy. I've tried, this is a book that I've got out of the Minlink library system. That would come from the St. Paul Library. That's actually a subject that I'd love to talk to you guys more about at a later time, but I don't have a computer that I can demonstrate it. I have to borrow somebody's. Basically, this book, kind of, when I got a hold of this one, he basically told me what I kind of stumbled upon doing stuff on my own. The only thing I really knew about metal was if it's high tempered, which the stuff that I'm using is high tempered, you got to keep it cool. Basically, what I've been doing is when I find the old-fashioned straight edge razors, I've been using these to make wood carving knives. Now, one of the things I'm trying not to make the same mistake that I did with the quail, which I had a grouse in here last month. I bought that and I started to cut it up because I thought it would be cheap wood that I found at a garage sale. I saw one at last week's at the club meeting. The guy was selling it for $75. Prior to starting carving it, it was in nicer shape than that one was. So I'm trying not to make that mistake with the knives. This one, I've been told, is probably worth more. I don't know what makes this one worth more, but this, I've been told this one's probably worth more leaving it intact than it is to make it into a knife. So I'm not using that one. Typically what I look for is I look for the knives that are broken, rusty, the ones that collectors say they're not worth anything. To me, there's still plenty of, a lot of times when I find them broken, they're broke, this part of the blade is broke. That's far too thin. I don't know how much you guys have spent looking at these. That's far too thin to work with as a knife anyway. So you're having to take and work that down. One of the things that you guys are all older than me. You guys remember going to the barber and seeing the guy take the leather strap like this, and take the thing and sharpen it up. It's literally razor sharp. I used to be so impressed with that. I thought, man, that's the ultimate in the guy having the proper angle on the knife. The more I started looking at these knives, I realized the back of the blade is shaped so that you get the correct angle as he's putting that across. There's absolutely no memory at all involved. In fact, this knife, you kind of see that one's been worn down on the strap quite a bit. That's their guide. So with that in mind, I started looking at that and I thought, my gosh, he's putting a lot thinner blade on this. I found this illustration in the book, and I really liked it. I really liked this. I used to go to the, when I was learning how to sharpen carving knives, I used to go over to the carving store. It used to be over out from Lake Street, or over by Lake Calhoun.
Woodcutters.
Chris, the old Ephraim. I had a hard time understanding what he was trying to explain to me. He was telling me that I was putting too much of a shoulder on the knife blades, and he was trying to illustrate that what I needed to be doing is something more along this line of an angle for my blades. Well, when I started looking at these knife blades, I realized that that's what the barbers were doing. So they were putting that extremely sharp angle on those blades. So that's kind of what I started doing with these. Now, when I make a knife, first thing I do is I get rid of the handle. Usually it's, I'll take it out, put it on the grinder, grind out the rivet, just give it a twist, the handle's gone. At that point, what you have is a couple of choices. Again, the knife blade is too wide at the base to use as a carving knife, so then you have to thin it down here. You need to bring it down this way. Now I've tried using the grinder to thin this blade down, and what typically happens, you're shaking your head, you know what happens. The blade disintegrates, and it creates shrapnel, which there's nothing more exciting than having that shrapnel flying around by your fingers. What I started doing, and I kind of ran into this by accident, and this book told me that that's how you're supposed to do it, is you use a belt sander. What I found that works best for the belt sander is 120 to 150 grit paper. I've tried 80 grit, and it seems like all that happens is the grit is stripped off from there by the hard steel blade. At home, I usually clamp this thing down. I didn't bring one with me. So basically what I'm doing is I have my bucket of water nearby. Somebody asked me one time if the square bucket. Nice thing with doing this without gloves is you can tell when it starts to get a little warm. And it's very easy to get rid of it in the bucket of water. I think I'd mentioned one other time, I made the mistake of doing this on my bandsaw. Not a good idea, because you get water all over the place, and that does a number on the cast iron table. Takes a little while to get everything down to the shape that you want. Let's see which one was longest. Okay, this is one that I started making this style of blade. Actually, I had a blade like this a couple of years ago, and it was the only blade that I ever had that cracked. I ended up talking with my uncle out in Colorado, who he does work with metal, and he said the best you can do is keep grinding it out until you get beyond that crack. His recommendation was to do it by hand. I said that's not going to work, because I had quite a bit of material, but by using the belt sander, I was able to take what started out as this blade down to there, where that was the only material that was still left after Pacific Abrasive. Only place that I've found Pacific Abrasive at is a place called Barry Seawell down in North Minneapolis. I happened to be down there today because I had to bring my son down to the University of Minnesota. Near as we can tell, this is the zirconium. I'm sure that 3M makes a similar type of a blade. He said it's really good for polishing. The guy that I got it from was a window guy. He was using it for polishing glass. I personally, I've gotten away from using stones. I like this stuff a lot better, for one thing.
What's it called?
Pardon?
What is it?
It's a zirconium. It's a belt, sanding belt. We're trying to locate more of them because this one's starting to get wore out, and I'm not quite sure where to get new ones. Does somebody work for 3M here? I kind of got the impression somebody works for 3M here.
Jim Bonham. Yeah, but he's down south.
Okay, I'll have to ask him about this, but basically the setup that I use is the same thing that the guy had for shaping glass and polishing glass. I've got the blade on there. I've got a 220 grit. This one happens to be 120 grit with adhesive on it. I like using that because I can shape that blade on that 120 grit. Now I'm going to leave scratches on that. I can get the whole blade. That's the thing I love about that is these blades. I can do the entire blade rather than on a stone where you're doing part of the knife and then having to go over and do the other part of the knife. We'll get the shape on it. Typically what happens when you are using the blade or the belt sanders, you get some obviously scratches, but you also get a little bit of an uneven cut across the blade. And this helps take care of that, gets it all smooth. It helps get me to where I can get that. What I'm trying to do on that is I'm trying to get the blade so that the back of the blade and the edge of the blade are in a straight line on that stone, or on that sandpaper. And once I get it through with the 120, I'll have some 220 grit that'll stick on there. I believe that's what's on the opposite side, although that's getting wore out. That's ready to be peeled off and the new one put on. Once I get done with that, then I can do the polishing and the sharpening, and actually I can almost do away with the strop, another strop with the zirconium sandpaper here. Once I get the handle down to where I want it, take out as many scratches as I want to, and again, that's up to a person as to how much time you want to spend buffing the thing out. My son, who collects swords, we've kind of come to the conclusion that the difference in price on the swords is how much time the guy sits there and spends, well, obviously the quality of the steel, but then also how much time the guy spends buffing it back out again. How many of the scratches he takes off. The cheaper, the lower quality swords, they don't bother taking all the scratches out of it. Once you get the blade to the point where you want it, and I typically have these pretty sharp by the time I put them in the handle. I use black walnut. The reason I use black walnut is somebody threw away 3 pieces of black walnut in the dumpster of mine, and I fished it all back out, so I've got all this black walnut sitting in my garage. One of the things I like about making my own knives is that I can customize the knife and the handle to my hand. I have short, fat fingers, and what I found is that this size of knife blade fits in my hand just about as perfectly as anything I've ever used. Typically, what I do, the wood is 3/4 inch thick. I put it in my miter saw, cut off 1 inch straight through, and it happens to come out 4 5/8 of an inch thick by the time I get my razors have this little funky curly Q on there. That works pretty darn nice to if you make that channel, it keeps the knife nice and secure in there. So typically what I'll do is I'll take and I'll draw out. This isn't the particular knife blade for this handle, but what I'll do is I'll draw out the blade, and then I'll use my wood burner and go down as deep as I can, as pretty hot as I can, and give me a good, nice starting edge on that. Then what I'll do is I'll take my 1/4 inch chisel, and I'm just going to cut that out of there, because I have my edges burned down at least. Yeah, it's at least an 1/8 of an inch that that's burned down. I've got a nice straight edge that I don't have to worry about getting off course. Anyway, you guys know how to do carving, so I'm not going to sit here and do that. What part that I had a little bit of challenge with was when you get up to the very tip here. I don't have any of the real fine micro chisels. I found that works really slick, and it has me questioning the validity of my cooking books at home that say that black walnut is good for smoking woods. I have a detail master with the, I think this is the 4C. It has the square edge on it. It's about 1/8 of an inch deep. What I'll do is I'll put that in my wood burner, turn it up fairly high, and I can use that to just kind of slice out this little tip up inside of here, and that works. For me, that works really quite slick. If I had a smaller chisel, I'd probably use that, and I'm not going out and buying a little 1/8 inch chisel just for that little curly Q. Once I get it to that point,